Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
I'm Matt Elcon.
Eric Nobriga.
We have a special guest for you guys. We do. Miss Heather Watts.
Yes.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm excited to be here.
You should be.
Yes. Thank you for
I
having
can
me.
see it in you.
We're excited to have you.
Yeah, and we are.
We're gonna get into some, little stories about your life, where you've been, where you're at.
You didn't want to know the real Heather Watts. That's what we're here to do. Let's bring that to light.
Brace yourselves.
Brace yourselves. We're ready. But we kind of told our little origin story, so that's kind of where we started. Where would your origin story at EMS start?
In EMS. So I started fresh out of high school. I went to Starbucks, which you would think that there's no segue there. I was 17 at Starbucks and worked there for a few years and used to see all the ambulances jam up and down. And we had a lot of EMS workers come in, obviously Starbucks, and they were all very, very kind. Starbucks. They were all gentlemen. They were all incredibly kind and
Free ads.
Oh, free ads. They're wearing green, like.
once a partner, always a partner. Just saying.
But you do have a green hat on right now.
That's why. It's all conspiracy. Anyways, Starbucks.
So everyone that came in was incredibly kind. We had fire, PD, obviously AMR came in, and I got bored blending frappuccinos. I had done it for 2.5 years.
Who would have thought?
Out of my life, and so I went home and I told my family I want to see if I can drive an ambulance, and they said absolutely not.
Sure.
Absolutely not. And I went, okay. So I signed up for EMT school.
Where'd you go to EMT school?
I went to Crafton up in New Caipa. Yeah. And it's like a lot of the guys that work with me now, actually, they made some calls and they helped me get an application at AMR. They were the gentlemen and ladies that I used to serve their coffee at Starbucks.
EMT and then supervisor route, I'm assuming.
No, I wanted nothing to do with that, actually.
I feel like most people don't.
Yeah.
At first.
Yeah.
At first, they didn't.
My, so Starbucks, I dove straight into, obviously FTO time, but my FTO time was incredibly challenging for me, going from lattes to CPR. My first shift out in San Bernardino was a 48, and I had never been awake for that long because why?
How did you work in a Starbucks?
Why would you? Why would anybody choose to be awake for that long?
We do that on the daily.
Well,
Taste.
that sounds like a you problem.
Absolutely is.
And so I remember San Bernardino, I had never been up in the North End before, and we had it was awful. Shootings, structure fires with shooting. I mean, the wildest shift probably that I still have ever had. And that was my first shift up there. And I was not doing well at all. I was shaking like from fatigue, stress. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm being screamed at. No, probably just adrenaline. And
Starbucks.
All that Starbucks. I begged. And then I had no idea where I was going. I had no idea what I was doing. And I had been awake for days. And then, really like leaned on my FTO and I said, I just, obviously I need some help here. And he said that women don't belong in this field. And that he was going to either make my life so hard that I tapped out or extend me so long that AMR cut me loose.
Wow.
So that was...
You were like challenged.
Ish. So that was my start. Yeah, it was a little tricky to navigate because
You're already jumping over hurdles at the get-go.
Yeah,
a little bit, like looking back, and when I tell people that, they're like, well, he was probably just, really trying to enable you. He was trying to, really get you to say challenge accepted. So you got after it, really, really wants you to, dive in. And I was like,
that's what he was.
Absolutely not. That is like looking back
a little bit,
especially like through like professional development, and seeing where we were and like how far we've come now, even like as a culture with EMS, Absolutely not. There is a way to challenge your person and enable your person, but not terrify your person. You know, if you think about how people learn the best, they learn the best in a space where they are comfortable and they can lean on their person. They're not shaking walking out to the ambulance. You're not going to perform properly, right?
Scared to approach
So,
the teacher.
so yeah, that was my start.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I went home and I sobbed and almost quit a few times. The only reason I didn't, special shout out to Damon Robinson.
David.
I remember he saw me, he remembered me from Starbucks. He goes, "How are you liking it? Like, how are you? How are things?" And I went, fine. And it
Survived.
like, he remembers me from Starbucks, just, you know, and he's like, are you okay? And I went, yeah, no, I'm not. This sucks.
Oh.
Yeah, this sucks. And I'm terrified and I can't do this. And he went, no, you're going to be okay. So special person for me.
Dan does have a good edge for reaching out and helping a lot of people.
Yeah.
I've had some cool conversations.
Thanks, Damon.
Thanks, Damon. But that must be a rough start. Being especially now in a leadership position, you see like that was obviously not the best approach for your FTO to come at you like that. And
Yeah, sure. And I think, you know, when you have that kind of exposure, you develop, you know, people like to say it like it's a callus, you know, they're going to earn their bones and cut their teeth on this industry. And I'm not going to say I developed a callus. I'm going to say I probably developed like a special sensitivity to watching people come from, because we have typically like a younger generation join our ranks, you know? And so I have a special sensitivity to seeing people that aren't genuinely being helped. You know, a lot of times we have FTOs that send them home, get them out of here. And I'm like, let's zoom out for a second. Let's have this conversation. You know, I'll be the first to say I'm an equal opportunity bruiser. Absolutely. But when there's someone that just needs an extra second, you know, I think we are in this field to help people. We need to be kind to ourselves. And coming from Starbucks and diving into that, I kind of see that happen sometimes with our people that we onboard. They came from their own Starbucks. And then we're like, hey, what, like, I didn't see you excel on this, you know, triple shooting. What's going on here? What's your problem? You know, like, what is our tool of measure there? You know? So, yeah.
that's cool. That's dope. So did he extend you? Did he?
He extended me. I was put on a CEP. Yes. I like to bring it up to our former CES person now. And yeah, it was close. It was really, really close.
You made it. And now you're here now. Yeah. You're
Suckers. I know, right?
That's cool though. But I mean, looking back now, would you changed any way or approached anything different?
I didn't know how to approach it differently. You don't know what you don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to tell someone, how they're supposed to respond to that level of just blatant exposure to the worst part of humanity that we actually see. Yeah. You know, we don't take into account, I think, sometimes the fatigue that goes into it on top of the stress, the area orientation, the skills that we anticipate them knowing, you know, and then the fatigue. We drive around for a minimum of 12 hours a day. Most people that start in this field have not driven for 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we need to be cognizant of that. You know, obviously we have to see progression, you know, and I became an FTO after some convincing. I became an FTO and I was really proud of the trainees that I had and the product that my partner and I put out, and watching someone professionally develop, not just in skills, but in confidence, right? It takes time. And when you only have this kind of a window to navigate, but you see them get bold and confident, you know, if the fire department's there first, they walk out a patient, our trainees always back up. Yeah. No. And I'll be the first to put my boot on their butt, like, get in there, you know, have conversations with people. It's okay to talk to the nurses. It's okay to develop that interagency communication. Do it early, right? And I think the the more dirt you have under your nails as a trainee, once you're cut loose, like everything just kind of comes with time and with experience once you get those like strong bones from the beginning.
Absolutely. Did you have like any family members or friends?
No.
So this was just, I'm going to go over it.
Pioneer.
I know you go first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's like before, right?
Yeah. I was going to college before and I hated it. I went in high school. Not a school person, was not fun. I actually got suspended from school a couple of times.
You?
Like shocking, I know. No, from high school for skipping, and then they would suspend me, and I was like,
Which is it's a weird concept though, right? Like, hey,
they incentivize.
coming to school, so we're gonna make you not able to come to school.
They incentivized it for me, so that was bad. So I was like, okay, high school, dive straight into college, and I hated it. I was not doing well because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And when you don't care about your psychology 101 class, you don't want to go. You want to go
It's tough.
play beach volleyball. You want to go hang out. You want to go work at Starbucks, you know? And so I stopped going to school, but then I got old and decided to dive back in. So I worked 2 jobs to put myself through college. And after that, my degree, I got it in emergency management with a focus on disaster relief. And then I wanted to go celebrate because, hey, we got through school. And so I was going to jam out to Mykonos and Santorini out in Greece because what a better way to celebrate?
Of course.
I mean, I had some airline miles gifted to me. And
This is wrong, right? Like,
Once or
you just want to dabble, you know, after an accomplishment.
of course.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, fellow manager.
You're welcome.
You get a map.
Yeah.
I think it's something here. This is way over there for a celebration. How long were you out in Greece for?
Well, I was gonna go just celebrate and kind of party on Mykonos and Santorini, but with what I got my degree in emergency management, like a focus on disaster relief, at the time, and it's actually still ongoing. There's a refugee kind of crisis going on out there on some particular islands.
In Greece?
Yeah. Yeah. And so I had like a crisis of conscience.
Felt like calling.
Well, if I spent that much money paying for this degree, I might as well use it.
Yeah.
So instead of going out to play, I tapped into some NGOs out there and I went out and worked in the refugee camps instead. Yeah. Yeah. So I'd go out for a few months at a time and did it for a few years. And I ultimately ended up in Greece and Turkey and spent some time in Panama as well. But most of it was in Greece working in the refugee camps. Yeah.
That's cool.
Very nice. Look at that. Full circle. So you did the degree while already working.
I did.
Got it.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it took going down a path to kind of find your path. You dipped into EMS and then you were like, wait a minute, I really like this. Maybe.
Yeah. There was not a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was not a plan, but I mean, it landed me in Greece, and it was wild over there. I mean, I'd never been in a refugee camp before. And
I'm not imagining that.
yeah, they had the camp divided. Like we had refugees from Syria, Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, Lebanon, and Kenya. You know, a lot of people, and they would come up through Turkey, and then they'd be on rafts coming from Turkey to this island that we were on, Mytilene. And it was wild because a lot of people that were like almost smuggled through, they were told that they had to be rescued. They couldn't make it to shore. They'd be sent back, that kind of a thing. So these refugees were armed with knives and they would start slashing the boats once they saw like our lights because they thought that they had to be rescued. Otherwise they'd be sent back. But a lot of these individuals, it's at night, they don't know how to swim. So
Yeah.
a lot of people drown. You know, I remember we were pulling up on this raft and this dad had his son and he just like handed him up like through the water to me, and I grabbed his kid and then he was gone. And so we had some really wild experiences out there. My last trip out there was they had a riot. And they had a bus come in and there were Molotov cocktails thrown. And I was in a little roller skate of a car, Peugeot.
No,
Peugeot.
Joe.
It's the size of a roller skate.
We don't.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's here, but
well,
Death Track, it sounds like.
it's a roller skate. Yeah.
he only.
Only it's a solo. It's a solo rider. So
What?
it was wild. So I jammed out and found my little car and just took off. Like I was so scared. Yeah. And then
The scene was not safe.
no, BSI Pen Man. It was not good. And then I took shot down this road and there's forests and castles. Like it's Greece. It's insane. And
It's
yes, that's wild. You guys know.
Yeah.
You guys know, right?
I think our next team building thing is we're going. I believe Jeff brought us. So
By myself.
oh
In a future.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah, perfect.
You get budget.
Those are wild. So yeah, I just jammed and just left and drove, freaked out, and then ended at this little road dead ended into this mountain basically. And I looked up and there's a castle and I'm like, of course there is. And then I looked down this road and I'm like, are those dogs? And I swear, I'll show you guys the pictures. There were 12 dogs just laying in the street. And I went, of course, this just happened. I was almost just killed in this refugee camp. No, there's all this road of dead dogs. Perfect. This is my life. And I just started crying. And then one of the dogs lifted their head up.
They were just sleeping.
They were sleeping. And then they all got up and started to make their way to me. And I was like, well, this is it. I'm going to be eaten by wild dogs. This is it. Game over. I'm going to be eaten to death by wild dogs in Greece, looking at a castle, status post refugee camp. And they came up to me and they were the friendliest dogs in the whole world. And I just sat on this cliff with them and just pet these wild dogs. I ended up making it over to a cafe once I chilled. And there was, a dog sitting in this cafe. And I asked the owner, I said, is this your dog? And he goes, no, he's the island dog.
Wow.
And I went, what do you mean he's the island's dog? And he said, we have our wild dogs. He goes, we all come together as a community. We fix and vaccinate our dogs. And if they come to the cafe, we feed them, we give them water. He goes, they're a part of our island. He goes, what else will we do? And I went, sure. And he goes, what do you guys do? And I went,
No, I'd rather not.
same.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. That's awesome.
yes.
That's super cool.
And that's why those dogs were nice.
Yeah, because
Those dogs.
I thought I was going to be eaten by wild dogs for a reason. So,
Yeah. Well, after the journey that you had, you're like, oh, of course, this is it. Yeah. This is it.
yes, I was like, this is it. This is the period at the end of the sentence. Yeah. So,
Well, we're glad you didn't. Yeah.
what a way, huh?
The wild dogs.
Yeah.
We're glad you get back.
Yeah. That's awesome. Now.
Do you still go from time?
I haven't been back since. It was
That's
after the whole yeah.
I get why.
I had an interpreter. She wasn't quite as lucky as me. And I have not been back since.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
That is fair. I think you put in your time. You did
Yeah.
what you needed to do.
So then what? Come back to the States?
Yeah, I came back and I actually started to work at ISMA.
Okay.
Yeah. Our little local LEMSA.
We've heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of ISMA. I dabbled with our little local LEMSA. And man, I learned so much there. So much, especially on the other side of EMS with our LEMSA.
Yeah.
But I was in an office and
You didn't like that.
wild horses can't be broken. And
True.
yeah.
There you go.
That's what we say about you.
That's yeah.
A lot of people
It's
say.
metaphorical bull. The China stuff is more right.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Same. Different, but same.
We're not the same. And so I was only there about a year. And then called my own manager, Mr. Dave Malloy, and I said, "Help me." And he said, "It's time to come home." And I was like, "It's my heart. Thank you, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir." And then I came back, and my goal was to just come back and run all the calls that I could run. I missed the field, could blow off some steam. Loved my partners. Was just like the amount of gratitude I had for being able to come back and just have a blast, and sit with my partner and mess with the soups, make their lives hard, do all the stuff and things that is like our favorite part.
Son of a shame.
Sorry, Shane. Not sorry. They said, "Hey, we want you to think about being an FTO again." I said, "Absolutely not. That will never happen. That will never happen." So then I was an FTO again. And yeah, they said, "Hey, you were an associate soup once, what do you think about being a part of this team?" And I went, "I have no interest.
No thank
That will never happen. You guys get away from me." And so after I became an associate soup, we had a couple supervisors leave, and they were like, Heather. And I went, "You guys are gross. Get away from me.
I don't want.
You guys were actually the supervisors that wrote me up. I will have nothing to do with this." So then I became a full-time supervisor.
She had a great interview.
I don't know if you're being
Yeah, I was waiting for the pun, but no. Okay. He's giving you kudos.
No, I don't.
Jesus, Heather, relax. He's giving you a good job. Not a girl.
Trust it.
Dang.
Right.
Like, you're all defensive about it.
Who's interviewed me a few times.
Her favorite.
Yeah.
So does she?
I was so stressed. I was so
Often
stressed.
she gets compliments.
So yeah.
Doesn't know how to take.
She doesn't know how to take them. She takes them as, wait, you're saying something good about me? Get away from me.
Yo, what?
This guy's trying to fight me right now. This guy's trying.
Yeah.
You did it.
I don't know. Who cares?
You get the wild dogs. I'll hail the wild dogs.
Yeah,
She'll call them. She has a whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gifted to her by the island.
By the Islanders of Greece.
yeah.
Yes.
Makes
You're welcome.
sense. Makes sense.
And then full-time soup, and we had some movement there. And then I had a spirited conversation with a few people, also namely Robert Coster.
Shout out Robert Coster. Mm-hmm.
He's an inspiration to us all.
Spirited conversation, and it was explosive, and I had some choice words for him when he said, "I think you need to go this direction and put in for a manager." And I said, "Absolutely not.
Maybe you should just stop saying
That will never
because it just
happen.
turns out the correct way.
That will never happen." And
That's it. She says no.
I had a couple other phone calls, people that you certainly don't say no to. And
I have an idea of who maybe at least one of them.
Yeah.
it's both of them. And and now I get to sit here with you guys.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
17 months later and 3 gray hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
That's it.
3.
You've got your own soup team. You built up.
Aren't they wild?
Yes, they are.
They are wild.
They are.
They are wild.
They're so wild. They're so perfect. And they don't take an ounce of guff from me whatsoever.
No.
No one ever would.
No, they don't care.
Did you do your harvest festival
It's tomorrow night.
tomorrow night?
It's tomorrow night.
believe a pretty cool costume situation. Rumors are. Is it a surprise?
Do you want to? This is probably shown after it, so you can.
Is it a surprise?
It is right after. Yeah, this is gonna happen after, so you can say what it is.
There's a certain IFT supervisor, Laura Lopez, and Laura's not fully devoted to holiday celebrations, but Laura is also a very dear friend that if I beg and plead and bribe, she will step it up for her homegirl and for her operation.
How mad would she be? Because this is going to air after. If we get that picture and Jeff with his amazing IT skills can put that picture of Laura and Heather right here. Is that a thing, Jeff?
We'll see him.
All right, we'll see in post
I feel like she'd be furious, and it's worth every ounce of her feeling.
100%.
Yeah. But also, to be clear, Laura, I had nothing to do with this. You heard it. It was him. He did it. And that guy.
Laura will be the queen from Snow White, Yes. Yes. And they're
Oh, which
she is wicked. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Thanks for emphasizing.
Mirror off the wall.
real saying though, like,
No, I think that's it.
no, I thought it was this like a parent, next situation.
I don't watch cartoons.
You don't watch cartoons?
Next is not a cartoon.
Snow White is. With your mare.
Did you not watch cartoons when you were little?
But you're gonna go on with the cut.
Kind of contradicting yourself.
Listen, I've seen the pictures, okay?
All right. So what are you gonna?
There are a couple field personnel that may or may not owe our operation some favors. So they may or may not be dressing up as dwarves and or the evil witch that hands out the apples. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we have that going for us. And then
You're what are you gonna be though?
Wait a minute. Isn't the witch the queen?
Yeah.
The witch is the queen.
On the wall, not mirror. That was the
Yeah, Heather. You're right.
All right.
okay, well, I'll tell Laura.
You're right, dude.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for checking.
Put into the
Glad we got that
it's
cleared up.
magic mirror on the wall for all you guys that didn't know that.
Actually, I don't think Snow White is the one that said that. I
You
think
can't say Snow White said that.
The evil queen is.
The evil queen,
so.
Who is also the witch.
who's also the witch.
So we
No, they're the same people.
What are you gonna be? What do you say it? Can you say it?
pure as the driven snow. Snow White.
Yeah.
So this picture, if you see this, is Heather Snow White.
There's a black wig and it's horrible.
Wow.
It's awful. But you know what? We've got guys and gals that are off duty and they're bringing in their families. They're
That's-
off duty and they're showing up and they're bringing their kids. They're bringing their.
So committed to the cause. I love it. I think that's
We have a face painter. We have a balloon animal person. We are serving hot dogs that are going to be in like little caskets.
and if you
Like
want,
this
Megan
is.
and I can go there and take pictures and sign autographs. If you need us there, we'll do that.
I want people to show up.
Sure.
Yeah,
No, they'll know. They'll know. They'll know.
I'm not trying to scare the kids.
No, we'll be fine.
Scary kid skank.
stand.
Okay. Anyways,
Well, then,
Cute.
shoot. Anyway, back to your operation. So you also celebrated First Responder Day.
We did. We had National First Responder Day yesterday.
What did you use? All the pictures. And it was super cool. He has this cart out there.
It's
You're spoiling
it's a horse trailer, half of a horse trailer,
Bro, jeez.
and it folds out like a bar, but not a bar. It folds out and
Alcohol were there.
there none. And we had pizza, and then it's called like the Russian Doll and the Russian Doll Catering, and she's fantastic. And she's got flowers everywhere, and she scoops ice cream, and you can get hot fudge sundaes.
So it's her trailer?
It's her trailer.
Yeah, okay.
It's beautiful. And you get hot fudge sundaes with caramel and coconut and Oreos, whipped cream, cherry, or you get a fresh churro. She makes fresh churros there. Or if you want to be exceptional, you can get a churro sundae.
She even had a red carpet.
We did. We had a red carpet with the gold posts so everyone lines up down the red carpet. And
But you're celebrating the crews. You're celebrating First Responders.
it's National First Responder Day. You, at a minimum, should get pizza, churros, or a churro sundae. All of the above.
Well, that's
Yeah.
super cool. Do you have
I was
there
there
now.
yesterday.
We did.
Evan didn't even tell me about it. So Evans kind of hurts a little
Evan got his churro.
bit. A lot of timing.
Evan got his churro sundae.
Sure he did. Yeah.
But did you
Okay.
get from Heather as well?
No,
No,
I didn't.
that's a shame.
Why are you stressed? You did, and you didn't show up.
Oh man, I was stuck in traffic.
You
for
didn't tell me either.
hours. Yeah, I found out about what they had. I didn't know about the ice cream and stuff. But you know what? I'll start making it. So Heather, now that you're a manager, and I'm currently an interim manager
Yeah.
for Victorville.
That's another notch. Boom.
Damn. I'm gonna go to paramedic school next year.
Mhm.
I heard you're gonna go to paramedic school.
Incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's incorrect. So when I was in Greece,
Oh,
we were trying to help out a group of refugees, men, women, children, and we didn't get to the shore in time. And long story short, I saw several people be beheaded.
Oh.
And So ultimately came back to ISMA, came back to AMR. And my first full arrest coming back to AMR, piece of cake, it's a full arrest, right?
Yeah.
I've done it before. We've all done those before. Super smooth full arrest. Best case scenario for a worst case scenario call. And my medic was rad, grabbing a tube, and he's like, "Hey, can you grab me some cardiac pressure?" Absolutely. Piece of cake. But it wasn't. It was one of the strangest things I've ever experienced. But all of a sudden, I was pouring down sweat, and like my hair was in a ponytail, but it's like stuck to the side of my face. And he's like, Heather. And like, Heather wasn't home. And so it was weird, interesting thing. I've never had like a thing like that before. As it turns out, Heather discovered that she's got a thing with airways. I remember, and I remember why. A lot was involved with that.
Absolutely.
And so I think with our field, especially now, we've got a focus on traumatic calls, traumatic events, right? We check in with each other. And after a traumatic call, I tell our people this a lot, it's okay to be okay. You don't have to carry this, but with some stuff, with dads, stuff with kids, it hits a little bit closer to home, right? And that's also fine. Doesn't mean you're damaged. You're not a victim. None of that is a thing. But I do think that we need to zoom out sometimes and be kind to ourselves, and sometimes we just need to recognize our spaces, and sometimes people have stuff with their spaces. And so that's actually why I never went to paramedic school.
That makes sense.
But that's cool that you're self-aware that you were able to. Is that something that you figured out later down the line, or was that
I
something?
figured it out on the scene of that full arrest. It was pretty quick. Yeah.
You were able to go through, like, realize,
Yeah.
this was something
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
stuck out as something that could,
And honestly, if it was something that I felt like professionally or personally, I had no choice but to dive into, I'm sure that I could. But with that said, I think if I am in a space where I can just kind of respect that space, I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. Does that make sense?
I just had a conversation with a crew yesterday, kind of similar situation, not similar to your situation.
Go on.
But
I've never been agreed.
basically the idea of someone's call that can kind of mess with them mentally, physically, whatever, is always going to be different.
Mhm.
You never know what's going to affect someone. Someone could have a call that the patient just happened to look like their grandma, and it's
Yeah.
messed them up. Even if it was a perfectly normal run-of-the-mill call, they might not be okay after. We were just having a conversation with that, and
The littlest thing that
there might not even be
response.
Yeah,
This is a human response.
Yeah.
It's normal.
I also and this could be just because it's me, but being an EMT, I think it's rad that it really kind of opens up a channel where other EMTs that maybe don't want to be a medic can go, but it doesn't have to end here. It doesn't have to end with me being an EMT in an ambulance. I can develop professionally. I can seek out other avenues of education. I can go travel the world, and it doesn't just have to end with you driving a van, I mean, being an EMT is so much more involved than that. And I think people discount that, which is a mistake on their end. And one, and two, look at what it's gifted me. It's an honor. I still work in the field, which is an honor. And then I get to come and try to manage, and which is, well,
you're doing a great.
some days are better than others, but it's an honor, So I mean, and that has come up with some of my personnel. They've asked the question too, and questions have been asked since I took this job. Stuff has come up that I hadn't anticipated, and being an EMT is one. Being a female operations manager has come up before, which is something that I hadn't really anticipated because that's normal for me. But I've had some conversations with other managers about it. I've leaned on them with it, other female managers in this field, my male counterparts as well, bouncing stuff off of them because being a manager, a female EMT, new space for me, right? And I remember when I was brand new, someone asked me, they said, do you really think that anyone's going to take a woman in heels seriously that's trying to run an operation? And it took me aback because I went, oh, am I doing something wrong here? Am I not seeing something that they're seeing? Like you want to make your operation, your fellow leaders, your peers, your field personnel super proud, right? And in having that conversation and then leaning on my peers and my leaders, my mentors, and even my own team, I realized that we do it wrong with conversations like that. The conversation should not be about the woman in heels running an operation. The conversation should be about the health of the operation being run by a manager that may happen to wear some groovy kicks from time to time.
It is an odd thing to zone in on. Yeah, that your footwear would have anything to do with. 'Cause what if it's a guy and he's wearing some wild, crazy colored Jordans or something? Like, would we be saying the same thing? Would we be like, hey man, what are you doing?
I've got some pretty cool shoes.
Yeah, you do. That's true. That is true. Fair wear.
But yeah, so stuff has come up that how could I ever anticipate? But all you can do with it is, and genuinely, like the support that has been given to me just in trying to navigate uncharted waters for me, has been so massive. Like if even on your worst day, what keeps you coming back is your team, is your peers, your fellow managers, the people above you, the people next to you, the people that would bleed out with you, that go to the mat for you. That's what brings you back. The fact that tomorrow we're having a harvest festival and the ladies and gentlemen that I have the honor of working with that work with me are coming in off duty to bring their families. That's my tool of measure. And that's what keeps me coming back.
That's super cool.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, we think.
Yes, we support you. We're here to support you.
We're here to support you.
My shoe collection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, I think being a leader in EMS in general is hard. So having other obstacles that go in your way or judgment, like to be looked at off of your accomplishments, and like you said, tomorrow you're going to have people, not just crew that are on, but family. This is extended more than just something locally. It's starting to spread outreach, which is a good way. And so I think you do an amazing job like that.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you tell me if you didn't?
Probably not, but I honestly, from being on
In private.
not here,
Not on the podcast.
yeah, but no, on a serious note, like from we run with residents and stuff too. Like we hear the positive changes that are going on out there on morale and just the way that culture change is different out there. So it's coming a long way and it's in a positive direction, and you can be the person to deal with it.
Well, they know what'll happen if they don't.
That's it.
Yeah, well, we know
An iron fist.
but nice. I like that.
So what's next? What's next for Heather Watts?
Oh man. Oh,
Wolf.
oofa. Oofa.
Besides the Harvest Festival,
Yeah, any Christmas plans for the holidays, Thanksgiving?
it doesn't have to be big picture.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to go.
Where do we see Heather in 5 years? More of
Oh
a.
my God. Survival.
But what do we expect out of the Redlands division in the next couple of months?
Okay, way to put me on the spot, sir. Obviously Christmas. We have a Cocoa with Santa event. Santa Claus does have an appearance. There is a throne that Santa sits on. We have
I've heard of that.
yeah, there's
A
a
lot of people talk about it.
there's a throne. It's kind of a big deal. I actually last year asked him if I could take a spin in the throne, and I was told no. So
Wow, that's
fair.
that's fair.
Yeah,
he does.
You don't want to upset Chris Kringle.
exactly.
But again, it's a family event. We decorate cookies. We've got raffle prizes, games, stuff I want people to be able to spend time with their families, especially because they spend time away at the holidays. And that sucks.
Yeah.
We've all spent time away at the holidays. And so I want them to have an event and a place that they can go and celebrate with their families, eat, drink, be merry, decorate cookies, see Santa, hang out with Santa. So we have that coming up.
Don't sit in his throne.
Maybe don't touch the throne.
Don't do that.
He's lovely. Santa's lovely. So we have that coming up for Christmas. Over the next few months, few years with Redlands, my hope is to get more employees recognized. We had a ton recognized last year, and my cup runneth over with gratitude to the state. And also we had Star Life winners.
Absolutely.
We flew up to Napa. We had an absolute blast. And that was pretty unprecedented for our operation. That had
You have 2? Was it 2 in Napa?
for the Star Life
State
for the state.
one?
I think we had like 6.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah,
It was cool. I saw the picture.
yeah. So that was
That's you, huh?
that was really special. It was really special, and it being my first, like basically year as a manager, to be able to go up there with these guys and gals and spend time with.
That's cool.
It was massive.
Yeah.
It was massive. So we do really cool stuff. I know it's everyday stuff for us, but it's really, really cool. Not everybody can do it. And we have to dive in, like lean in on this and recognize our people, and our retention rates, people that want to come back, like, hey, I'm on a fire department, I'm wherever, but I kind of want to come back. I want to dip my toe in, I want to do this. Like, there's no bigger honor than people wanting to stick around and work next to you and party with you, and
I think we've been in EMS for a while, and so we grew up with the kind of culture of just like get back out there, do the work,
and bury it deep.
Yeah, you're really too much don't know. Yeah, like we would talk about calls and stuff. CISM and stuff didn't exist back in the day, so it was more just talking peer to peer. So seeing now how far we've come at acknowledging the crews and pushing them up and lifting them up and acknowledging, not always going, hey, you weren't wearing your seatbelt or whatever, but also acknowledging all the good stuff they do.
Mm.
I think that's super cool that you guys are.
It's funny because basically everyone that got the opportunity to fly up to Napa for the state award, they are the most humble group of people. Like, some of them are like, don't look at me, I don't want to do it. One of them was actually a Star Life winner as well, and that wasn't me. And that was one of you guys with big trouble. They hated it. They didn't want to be recognized. They're like, please just leave me alone. Like, I want nothing to do with this. And I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You're going to be recognized. And we really had a blast. It was perfect.
Did enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because no matter how shy you are, when somebody's giving you an accomplished, don't talk like you know what it's like to be.
There's a shy bone in your body, pal.
I know. But
Shots fired.
I wasn't shots fired. This was talking. Don't. That's just. This is just us. Don't try to stir up problems. Listen, we get it. We know our flaws. Thank you. But wow, what a story though. Yeah, you did a lot. Didn't know about Greece. Didn't know that you almost got killed by wild dog.
Well, you never asked me, Matthew.
That's true.
No.
That's true.
And that's on us.
That is on us.
Well, we're glad.
Guess what? Be better. We'll be better. I'll be better. Heather. Well, we're gonna start closing up. Thank you for coming on. But what would your last message to the upcoming crews, new EMTs, new medics,
The new
field?
generation.
Yeah. What would you tell them based off of your experience?
What advice could you give them?
Your life experience.
Oh man. Be tenacious. Be tenacious. You are in for a wild ride. It will not be easy. It will not be easy. You cannot be lazy if you're gonna be good at this job. It's not gonna be an easy job, but you'll meet your best friends. You'll meet your brothers. You'll meet your sisters. They'll be with you for forever. You'll have the highest of highs and the lowest of lows with your people. And you can take it anywhere. Just stick with it. If you love it, stick with it. You can travel with it. Just saying. Meet some dogs. You can travel with it. You can ladder climb with it. You can lateral with it. I mean, the only thing that's going to stop you with it is you. Once you're ready to tap, you can tap. Be kind to yourself with it, for sure. We're exposed to some stuff, but we're also exposed to some really cool stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So feel free to show up and don't be lazy, but get weird. Yeah.
I love that. Don't be lazy, but get weird.
But get weird.
That's a pretty cool motto you got there. Anyways, Heather Watts, we appreciate you coming on, the Redlands OM operations
Thank you.
manager. It was a pleasure hearing your story. Like I said, a lot of that stuff we didn't know, and all of us have worked together for a
What you
while.
get for not asking?
Yeah, listen,
Now we know.
that's why you're my peer and
Oh,
gave me that advice. So, but
touch and go.
again, we want to thank you for coming on and sharing your stories and sharing it with everybody. And on that note, I'm Matt Elcon.
Eric Nobrigo.
We'll see you guys next time.